What's good, YouTube? Because of Kobe here. So, we got some Tim Minchin for you to close out the night. This has been requested by multiple people. Mitsubishi Colt. It's another beat style poem from what you guys have told me. I'm excited to check out another one from Tim, man. You guys know I really love him a lot. I fuck with his style. I like how blunt he is. I appreciate the humor, and I love the wordplay. His wordplay is very next level with the rhyme schemes and everything like that. Very eloquently spoken in the way that he writes things. So I really appreciate his music a lot. I appreciate you guys introducing me to his music. I've really enjoyed it so far. So thank you guys, everybody that's asked for this one. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We talk about mental health, addiction, world issues, everything in between. Break down all the lyrics, instrumentation, stage performance, lighting, whole 9 yards on here. I like busting all the lyrics down. We have extended discussions about them. We have some awesome conversations about all the topics inside of these songs. I think it benefits a lot of us with helping to maybe reflect on things in our own lives and take the experiences that are described in these songs and we can apply them to what we're going through and realize that there is a brighter side inside of difficult times and stuff like that. A lot of those kinds of conversations happen on here. So I appreciate you guys supporting me in my recovery. It means the world to me. If you're struggling with mental health or addiction, please go get yourself some professional help. You can live a better life for yourself, man, and you can go help other people on the other side of it. That's what it's all about on here. I'm not going to waste any more time. This is a long one with Tim Minchin. Vakasa Kabe. A reaction video a day or 3. Keep the doctor away. Fuck those apples. Tim Minchin, Mitsubishi Colt.
Have a problem with stockbrokers? It's not.
I think a lot of people probably do.
I don't want to upset you. It's not. I don't have a problem with the job you do. I'm not even entirely sure what it is. But my problem is a grammatical issue. Because broke is the past tense of break. So strictly, I don't think you can have a broker. Like, I don't call myself a singer. This is a song about the conversation I had with a stockbroker in a pub once. It's actually a beat poem. Cool, huh? It's called Mitsubishi Colt.
Nice. I like that.
He looks at me intensely, eyes sparkle, contact lens green with artificial envy. Cocks his head and fixes me with a condescending stare, flicks his bleached blonde-tipped hair and theorizes thus. You know what I reckon? Pause for effect. Adjusts his tackle as if it's semi-erect. I figure I better give him what I know he expects. What do you reckon? A hand on the shoulder, an avuncular wink, sips his lemon drink, spits out the pips, hands on hips, licks his lips like a wolf near a flock. Yet again adjusting this fantasy cock, he delivers his philosophy. I reckon it don't matter. It don't mean squat what you earn or what you got or the style of your hair or what you wear. It matters not. I mean, what do you...
The way that you guys told me about this, the way he's like speaking independently of what his hands are doing, he's definitely doing that. And it's wild. It's wild. That's a difficult thing to do. Wow. You almost have to fucking, I don't even know. You have to put one of them on autopilot. One of them is probably autopilot. And I imagine that it's probably the piano. The piano probably feels like autopilot to him whenever he's executing this, right? That would make sense. He said he looks at me intensely, eyes sparkle, contact lens green with artificial envy. Cocks his head and fixes me with a condescending stare, flicks his bleached blonde-tipped hair, and theorizes thus. You know what I reckon? I love his descriptors, man. Very nice descriptors. Contact lens green with artificial envy, he says. That's fucking wild. Cocks his head and fixes me with a condescending stare. Flicks his bleach blonde tipped hair. I love it. He said, pause for effect, adjusts his tackle as if it's semi-erect. I feel I better give him what I know he expects. Well, what do you reckon? Man. A hand on the shoulder and a avuncular wink. Sips his lemon drink, spits out the pips. Hands on hips, licks his lips. The schemes he gets on. Like a wolf near a flock, he said, yet again adjusting his fantasy cock. This fucking guy. He delivers his philosophy. I reckon it don't matter, it don't mean squat what you earn or what you got or the style of your hair or what you wear, it matters not. Huh. That's not where you were expecting that to go whenever this initially started. I reckon it don't matter, he says. Well then.
You care that I live on a hill with views of the beach, that my chicks and my dogs have an ensuite bathroom each, that I've already reached my first 10 million and I'm only 36. You're as thick as two bricks if you think you can fix what is broken your life with money. And the funny thing is, and I shit you not, I would give it all up like that.
I love that. I love this. This approach right here is awesome. I like this. Very, very nicely done with the approach here. Wow. This is a rich person telling Tim that money does not solve all of your problems. That's what he's saying. He says it matters not what your style is or the hair you wear or anything like that. He says, I mean, what do you care that I live on a hill with views of the beach? That my chick and my dogs have an ensuite bathroom each. Even the dogs have a bathroom, he says. I've already reached my first 10 million and I'm only 36, he says. You're as thick as two bricks if you think you can fix what has broken your life with money. And the funny thing is, and I shit you not, I would give it all up like that. I love it. I love it right there. I love that it's a rich person telling him this, saying money's not going to solve all of the problems. He's like, if you knew half of the fucking problems I have, you'd realize that it would be pretty easy to give up the stress of this, essentially, is what he's saying here. I like it. I like that Tim took this approach to it with the conversation style and everything. There's a lesson to be taken from this, what he's saying right here thus far. Let's see where else he takes this.
He leaves me to ponder his wisdom for a bit, and with a click of his fingers he beckons the blondest, bimboest barmaid, and grinning ridiculously orders a G&T and a beer for me. And before I can escape, he's back saying, 'Cause mate, the thing is, all that crap, it's all superficial, it's all just a front. I mean, anyone can be a rich cunt, but the thing we all want can't be bought with dosh. You know what I mean, boss? 'Cause it's not like you give a toss that when I want to get slim, I've got my own private gym and a personal trainer called Danielle or fucking Darlene. She's got tits like those chicks in Playboy magazine. And it's not like you care that I own a controlling share of an overseas company that builds accounting software. It matters not one bit. I mean, who gives a shit if I earn 600 grand and drive a...
Hold on. Whoa, how's he doing that? Whoa. There's so much going on with the piano that my brain doesn't want to comprehend it mixed with his vocals. You guys said that was going to be a thing. We have arrived at that exact moment right here. Holy crap, how the fuck is he doing that? What? Oh, it's rare for me to get genuinely baffled at something. You guys know that whenever it comes to, like, music, I really understand the structuring of it, and I get it because I've structured many songs with a lot of great artists, and like when I was playing drums in bands and stuff, we all worked together on putting the pieces of the songs together with guitar parts and everything, so I like really understand the structuring of music. I have no idea what he's doing. Like, what to call this technique. That piano's going insane, first off. The piano is absolutely losing his shit. We gotta bring this back. Hold on. What is going on here? This is crazy. Okay. Let's bring it down, right? That had me shook. You guys said that was gonna happen. That fucked me up. That's a brain fuck. Let's see. Let's listen to this right here. I want to see if I can dial in on what he's doing here.
Danielle or fucking Darlene, she's got tits like those chicks in Playboy magazine. And it's not like you care that I own a controlling share of an overseas company that builds accounting software. It matters not one bit. I mean, who gives a shit if I earn 600 grand and drive a brand new Land Rover? You know, I'd hand it all over like that.
So he's playing like some really eclectic, it's almost like cosmic jazzy kind of vibe going on with the piano, right? That's the best way I can explain it. But the run-along melody inside of it that would be like the sweep picking on a guitar would be the best way to describe it. He's, with that hand, with his melody hand, he's playing the notes out to the sentence structure that he's spinning, but then still playing the bass and the backbeat with the other hand. Yo, this is crazy. This is, wow. He is talented as hell. There ain't many people that could do this in the world at all. This is like some classical level shit right here. But he's fucking telling a story over top of it. Wow. I love like the spacey, cosmic, jazzy kind of sound he has going on, though. That's, like I said, that's the best way I can think to describe it, what he's doing here. He says, he leaves me to ponder his wisdom for a bit, and with a click of his fingers, he beckons the blondest, bimboest barmaid, and grinning ridiculously, orders a G&T, a gin and tonic, like it, and a beer for me. And before I can escape, he's back saying, he's like, I'm trying to escape, and this man just bought me a whole beer to continue his rant. Because, mate, the thing is, it's all superficial, all that crap. It's all just a front. I mean, anyone can be a rich cunt. That's factual. Yeah, think about it. There's, like, ways to make money without hardly lifting a finger nowadays if you know how to do it and stuff like that. Like, one of the big things now that people are getting into, obviously, is drop shipping and crypto and stuff like that. And you got, like, young people that figured that stuff out and how to do that stuff that are already making fucking $5,000, $10,000 a month or whatever off of that. But it's all about learning how to do it properly and bring the funnel of money into it. But yeah, that's what he's saying. He's saying anyone can be a rich cunt. And in today's climate, that's especially true, because anyone, if you learn how to do those things and you go do them and succeed at it, yeah, you're going to make a lot of money. You definitely are. He said, but the thing we all want can't be bought with dosh. You know what I mean, boss? Because it's not like you give a toss. That's when I want to get slim. I've got my own private gym. He's like, yeah, you don't give a shit that when I want to get slim, I've got my own private gym. He's like, you don't care. That don't make me any specialer to you. That's what he's saying. He's saying, if you saw me on the street and we just had a casual encounter and you didn't know, you would still treat me just like any other fucking person, right? That's what he's saying there. You still wouldn't care. You would just treat me like any person and have a casual interaction. It says, and I have a personal trainer called fucking Danielle or Darlene. She's got tits like those chicks in them chick magazines. He said, it's not like you care that I own the controlling share of an overseas company that builds accounting software. Damn, that's specific. That's real specific right there. It's like I own the controlling share, he said. Matters not one bit. I mean, who gives a shit that I earn 600 grand and drive a brand new Land Rover? You know, I would hand it all over like that. Yeah. He's like, I would still just be living life and surviving at the end of the day, even without all of this shit. He's like, this is just here, essentially, because I can. Right? That's literally all it is. That's what he's saying. He's like, I have it because I can. Like, it's so unnecessary. Even he feels that way about it. It's all superficial to him. At the end of the day, he could give it all away, man. That's a wild fucking analyzation to come to once you've lived that life, I imagine. I imagine whenever you are that person and you start thinking that way, it's a little bit of an identity crisis in a lot of ways. But most people, honestly, most people, before they ever even reach this point of having all of this stuff, have already acknowledged that they don't care for it before they're even able to get it. That's where most people end up. And then there's people who there are people who like to live super lavishly and like to be cocky and egotistical about it and stuff like that, but I mean, most rich people will tell you that they could survive without everything that they have and they would be fine. Most of them really will say that they wouldn't care if they had to start over from the bottom. So their perspective on it is, I already got here once. I know how to do it now. So if everything fell, I would know exactly what to do to make it come back, essentially. And that's the cycle of life. That's exactly it. This is really deep right here.
He pauses for a beat long enough for me to retreat to a seat and sit elbow on bar and contemplate this guru with his white teeth and his big car and ponder silently my belief that genius comes in many forms and that this postulating peroxided porn star prick ain't one of them. My speculation cut short as he reforms like Terminator 2, and before I have time to abort, he descends upon me and snorts. I guess what I'm trying to say, in my own little way, is that I reckon musos and artists and that, well, I reckon they're great. I know some people who reckon you guys just sit on your bums and don't get out of bed till the pizza man comes and smoke cones and take crack and whack off all day, but I don't care what they say. And I don't listen to people who say all actors are gay. Not that I don't think that's okay. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, although it's not my bag, if you want to be a fag, you know? I mean, who am I to say where you come and where you go in the privacy of your own homo? Homo.
This guy. That's fucking funny right there. The way that he's playing that piano while rambling this on actually, throws your brain for a loop. It's really wild. Very, very incredible. He pauses for a beat long enough for me to retreat to a seat and sit elbow on bar and contemplate this guru. He's like, I'm fucking contemplating life at this point. With his white teeth and big car, and ponder silently my belief that genius comes in many forms and that this postulating peroxided porn star prick ain't one of them. My speculation cut short as he reforms like Terminator 2. Nice, that T-1000 reference right there, huh? Before I have time to abort, he descends upon me and snorts. He says, I guess what I'm trying to say in my own little way is that I reckon musos and artists and that, well, I reckon they're great. I know some people who reckon you guys just sit on your bums and don't get out of bed till the pizza man comes and smoke cones and take crack and whack off all day. But I don't care what they say, and I don't listen to people who say all actors are gay. This is like some Slim Shady kind of shit, right? That's funny, bro. That's funny. I love his approach on this. Just a run-along sentence, man. I don't listen to people who say all actors are gay, not that I don't think that's okay. As far as I'm concerned, although it's not my bag, if you want to be a fag, you know, he says. Tim does not care. Don't fucking cancel me, YouTube. Don't even think about it. I mean, who am I to say where you come and where you go, he said, in the privacy of your own homo. And then he doubled down with the haha homos afterwards, like the guy saying, haha, laugh with me, I made a joke. And Tim's just sitting there like, I'm so done with this conversation right now. What the hell is my life? That's Tim's energy, right? Oh, Tim's like, what the hell have I got myself into here? I love it. The way that he's playing that piano is insane. We gotta bring it back. I want to listen to this piano more and really try to catch some of like what he's doing inside of here.
Say all actors are gay. Not that I don't think that's okay. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, although it's not my bag, if you want to be a fag, you know? I mean, who am I to say where you come and where you go
So
in the privacy
crazy.
of your own homo?
Wow.
Homo. He's shitting me now, and my eyes start to glaze, and through the haze of my anger, I notice his G&T is gone, and he's starting to dribble as he dribbles on and fucking on. But you musos are alright. I don't know much about music, but I know what I like, and I reckon I'd give it all in to be like you, Jim. Because you might be poor in monetary terms, but what you earn spiritually, what makes you what you are, just means so much more than what you'll get from a really nice car, or a tennis court, or holidays in Greece, or a house on the beach, or stock market shares, or 31 pairs of Calvin Klein underwear. Do you understand? You are a wealthy man, and mate, I don't want to piss in your pocket, but I gotta say, before I get on my way, that honestly, and I'm not having you on, I reckon one day you could play piano as good as Elton John.
My word. How is he playing like that? It's so crazy. It really is wild to wrap your head around the fucking independent motion of both things going on. It's really, really complicated. Very, very talented. Wow. He said, he's shitting me now, and my eyes start to glaze, and through the haze of my anger, I notice his G&T is gone, and he's starting to dribble as he dribbles on and fucking on. But you musos are alright. I don't know much about music, but I know what I like, and I reckon I give it all in to be like you, Jim. Tim. He said Tim. Because you might be poor in monetary terms, but what you earn spiritually, what makes you what you are, just means so much more, he said. Oh, man. He's saying, I do soulless work, bro. Damn. He said, than what you get from a really nice car or a tennis court or holidays in Greece or a house on the beach or stock market shares or 31 pairs of Calvin Klein underwears. Nice game. Do you understand? Jim, you are a wealthy man, still calling him Jim. And mate, I mean, I don't want to piss in your pocket, but I gotta say, before I get on my way, that honestly, and I'm not having you on, I reckon one day you could play piano as good as Elton John. Shout out Elton John, man. Elton John is the man. He's the man. I love this. This is fantastic right here. Fucking amazingly done. This is really complicated. It is hard to pull off what Tim has done here. The independent motion of the hands and the way that it's structured, but also following some of the melodies along with the exact placement of the syllables in the sentence as well. It's so complicated. He's jumping in and out of pockets left and right, and it really does throw your brain through a loop the way that the sound comes through whenever he puts them together. It's very well crafted. Beautiful storytelling, as always, from Tim Minchin. He never fails whenever it comes to his storytelling and everything like that. Let's close this out and see how he ends this story right here.
The cops are still mingling, though the crowd shuffled out. I've got ice on my hand, where my fist met his mouth. And although I explained that it wasn't my fault, I have an $800 fine for aggravated assault.
Oh, man.
So before it gets worse, I reckon I'll bolt. A wealthy, wealthy man in a 1981 Mitsubishi Colt.
Wow. That's brilliant. That is a really good way to end that. Wow. Very impressive right there. That was very impressive right there. Rock and Roll Nerd's fantastic. We did that one. Y'all go check that video out if you haven't seen it yet. This was very well done right here. I fucking love this guy. These last bars here, the way he closed the story out, was the most perfect way that he could have possibly chosen to do it. So, he's finally been pushed to his limit whenever this guy tells him maybe someday he'll be as good as Elton John, and I think Tim did not like that. Tim probably feels as though he is as good as Elton John, and that him and Elton John could even bond over piano because of their levels of skill, right? That is where Tim probably feels inside of himself, in the most humble way possible, obviously. He's a very humble person, just funny as hell, and wild when it comes to his lyricism, but super humble as a person in general. He said the cops are still mingling, though the crowd's shuffled out. I've got ice on my hand where my fist met his mouth. Tim out here spitting. Tim's out here talking like he's Eminem in the song Soldier, pistol whipping bouncers, except he decided to punch a wealthy person that told him he ain't as good as Elton John at the piano. Tim did not appreciate that statement. Tim felt as though that statement was a little bit too much of a piss in the pocket, so to speak, as the guy said up here. He says, I want to piss in your pocket. Well, you might as well have shit in it at this point, because Tim's pulling the fucking punches and then throwing them, right? He's pissed. Tim was not having it. He said, although I explained that it wasn't my fault, I have an $800 fine for aggravated assault. Tim's out here getting himself in trouble because he can't listen to rich people talk to him and ramble to him for too long. Tim's probably sitting there also thinking at this point, motherfucker, I have a whole career. I'm not poor. That's what Tim's thinking too. Tim's sitting there like, motherfucker, I ain't poor. Man, oh man. I wonder what time period he wrote that, like the perspective of it. It was written, it says in 2013. So 2013 is what it says here off of the Dark Side album. Track 7 on Dark Side is when this one was done. So, yeah, if this is written from the perspective of that time period, Tim would be looking at this guy like, motherfucker, I already have made it. What are you talking about? Probably got a little bit tense inside, enough to throw a punch. So before it gets worse, I reckon I'll bolt. I love this right here. A wealthy man in a 1981 Mitsubishi Colt. I love it. It's such a great way to end it, and it ties into the title as well. Obviously, the title, I love that he saved saying anything that related to the title of the song for the exact last 2 words of the whole song. That's a very brilliant way to compose it and to structure it for the ending. Ties everything together. It makes the title make sense by the end of it. Tim will leave you hanging until the end like that sometimes, and then everything will make sense by the last few bars. Tim got tired of this guy rambling to him, and I guess Tim doesn't feel like he cares what anything about what this guy has to say. He doesn't find him funny. He finds him pompous. He finds him cocky. He finds him arrogant. Tim's like, how are you looking down on me? I'm an extremely successful musician, and I'm about to take exception to anything that you might have to say when it comes to us musicians, right? This guy's basically saying, I don't give a fuck about anything that I have. I'm tired of all of it. This is soulless work. At least you have emotion and spirituality and feeling inside of everything that you do. You're more wealthy than me in spirit. He says, but you're not as good as Elton John. And Tim said, I think that warrants a punch. Now we got it. He says, now we got this $800 fine for aggravated assault. But I'm driving away a wealthy man in a 1981 Mitsubishi Colt. Aggravated assault in Mitsubishi Colt is one of the most creative rhymes I've ever heard. That's really awesome. Very indirect, but it's perfect. It works perfectly. I love that. Very creative right here. Thank you to everyone who asked for this one. I thoroughly enjoyed this. This is one of my favorite ones. Crazy on the piano. I have no honest idea how in the world he pulled that off, playing like that while speaking, and like all the different enunciations and rising tones and falling tones and quieting and pausing. I mean, all the methods possible were implemented into the structure of this cadence. And then to do what he did on the piano on top of it is crazy. It's one of the best things I've ever heard in my life. Very talented, great storytelling. I like the story. I love the conversation. Tim's always funny. His descriptors are hilarious, and his conversation pieces are always a gem. It's just fucking fantastic. I really appreciate this one a lot. Thank you guys for introducing me to Tim. Like I said, I really enjoy his music a lot. So, the original video for this will be in the description. As always, subscribe to all the artists we have on the channel. That's what we do this for. Get the music out into the world, relate it to life. This was a nice storytelling song that ended in Tim beating up a rich person because they said he ain't as good as Elton John. That's the most Tim Minchin thing I've ever fucking heard. I love it. I fucking love it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I say, please go get help if you need it. Go live your best life. Chase your dreams. Show people what you're made of, and then help other people get out of those cycles and inspire them to do the same thing for themselves. I love you guys so much. We gonna get out of here. I'm Vakasa Kabi. A reaction video a day or 3. Keep the doctor away. Fuck those apples. Leave a like for me, comment those suggestions, subscribe up this way, bang the notification bell for me. I'll see you guys in the next ones. I love you so much. Thank you for everything. Have a blessed night. Peace.